Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 18th. It's 3:45 a.m. over on the East Coast. We got about 6 hours until the market opens, and I wanted to get a quick video out because there's been a little bit of concern from what my view is, considering the dates and where we are. But quickly today, very much nothing. 10 o'clock, we get the housing market index, which I don't think we'll see anything that has to do with what's going on in DC make an impact on it. 11:30, we get the 6 and 3 month auctions, and at 1 o'clock, we get the 52-week auction. That's it. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Wednesday, we have the FOMC minutes. Now, other than that, there are no scheduled quote unquote catalysts really for the week. So, with today being the closing window of that full moon, there's a tad little bit of, okay, we might have put in a bottom. And today being the final day of the window, like I say before, it's an art, it's not a science. It's something that I am having a lot of respect for. But what we see over here on the futures, we're at 61.3140. So we're very obviously at a new all-time high. And the highs over the weekend were, or overnight, 61.3810. So we're only about 7 points off of where we have come from. And I'll go right into this because, it's first of all with the VIX. Every Monday, you get a gap up on the VIX. I can't tell you why, but we get a gap up on the VIX. Here we are going into Tuesday, the second day of the week, and we have another gap up on the VIX. So, as much as I want to give respect to the price action, which is currently moving to the upside fractionally, I am also paying very close attention to how this VIX, while it does have two gaps to be filled down below, is not displaying what you would expect to see with price action moving to the upside. I'll bring it on over here to the futures. And here's what we're looking at over on the futures. For some of you, it might be a little bit squiggly, and that's not really my problem. Over here, I've got on the left the YM, the NQ, the ES, and on the right, the RTY, the Russell 2000. And it's been all NASDAQ. All NASDAQ has been doing all of this. All NASDAQ. It was all like that last week, where it was all NASDAQ doing the work. And here we are, almost up there to that 6170 pivot over on the drawing that I gave with the falling trend line for the resistance that we were working with, working its way down now below this 6110. Here's your little triangle, but I'll bring you into the clean futures, which is where our all-time highs on the futures is at 6163.75. So fractionally higher for the all-time high on the futures. The NQ, I don't actually have it drawn over here, but I'll just look. What is it? 22,450, 22,320. So we're just fractionally off of the all-time highs on the NQ as well. What you see over on the right and over on the left are your Dow and your Russell 2000, and you can see they are dead donkeys. And the reason that they are dead donkeys is, I'll scroll you over here, is, like I say, everything is in the NASDAQ. It's all in the QQQ. And we've got a little bit of a gap up over here on NVIDIA. And with NVIDIA having doing a plethora of the work that was taking place, the DeepSeek gap down is almost filled. The DeepSeek gap down would be filled right around 142.64. We're up in the 140s. And again, it's all been NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been doing the majority of the work. Amazon, as you see, lows for previous time coming over here last week, 30 days. Nothing burger out of here, out of Amazon. I don't really need to go through all of these, but I will bring you over onto Apple because Apple did a very substantial amount of work last week with that bounce off of 226. And bigger, broader, wider view over on Apple. You still got two big gaps up above the 2024 close as Gapple is red on the year at the moment. So again, I'm only making note of this because it is a very large player on the weighted index for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. But this is what we're working with over here on Apple, so it is something to be aware of. But yes, with this being the futures, I don't normally go over and look at this, but I am going to look at it now. And looking at it from this point of view on the 4-hour, we were overbought and we are pushing back into overbought on the NQ 4-hour. Same thing over here on the ES. We did not get into overbought. However, we are still bullish pushing towards that overbought area. So having a little bit of respect for a little bit more upside today is well within caution. And as for that caution goes, I will bring you on here. Again, this is the wider view from the January 13th low on the SPX with your big gap here, 59.05, 58.43. We are up here into this plus 60.75 zone, which I tried to display for you there on Friday as to why I do not believe in plus 60.75. But we have a little bit of movement to the upside right around that 61.45, 66. That would fit. That would actually fit pretty perfectly if we could go up and fail right at that 61.45, 66. So with that in mind, I've got a spread for you for today, which is in the email. Granted, it's still a few hours before the market opens, but as you see over here as well, 61, 69, 95 being the ABC perfect. This being a, 15, 20 point move to the upside, that would fit right in with that 61.45 over on the SPX. Again, over here, I'm biased. I want to be placing here this circle, but I may be forced that I have to go and put the circle down here. And I won't know that until we get later in the week, Wednesday and Thursday, if we break up above the highs where we trade today. Over on the net QQQ, again, like I pointed out over the weekend, we are not yet at the all-time highs of 539.15, but there is a very decent possibility where we could stretch up to 542, 544. And with that being the case, going back to NVIDIA doesn't report earnings until the end of next week, so we could very well be delayed a week before we start any kind of aggressive downward progress. The Dow Jones, again, dead donkey, had absolutely no activity out of it since January 21. The Russell 2000, same thing, coming back here to January 21 when it hit 230. And the 230s were rejecting quite nice. 227 is now starting to be a problem again. So that's what we got. So enjoy your breakfast, enjoy your coffee, enjoy your tacos, with it being Tuesday today, and I will see you in the chat room, and I'll have a couple of trades for you there in the email.